Welcome to Bulldog Talk, a podcast presented by Celina Curriculum. Today, my guest is Tess Watson, the esports advisor from Celina High School. All right, Tess, welcome to the podcast. It's great to see you.
Thanks. Yep, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Great. Hey, let's just jump right into it, and we'll ask you some questions, and then you can show us around a little bit. Okay. Tess, if you could go just tell us a little bit about yourself and your current role at the high school.
Yeah, sure. My name is Tess Watson, and I teach high school social studies, and I'm also the Bulldog Esports Coach here at the high school.
Okay. Can you tell us how long you've been at the high school and any other clubs that you lead or activities you're in?
Yeah, so this is my 6th year at the high school, 8th year teaching in total. I had done mock trial previously to doing esports, leading esports. That's pretty much all I do.
Okay, and that's okay.
Right.
Let's get to a big part of our podcast here, and that's talking about esports, which is new for Celina. Can you tell us a little bit about the program and inform our viewers kind of what it is?
Yeah, so esports are competitive electronic games of strategy that we play individually or as a team. They are growing in popularity because they are so versatile. We can play online, and so there's no travel required. Schools are streaming those matches online, so then you can spectate without having to travel anywhere. Most high school kids are already watching people play competitive gaming online on YouTube, on Twitch. So most of the time people are pretty excited to get a chance to try it out themselves. And they get to represent their high school, which is pretty cool. This program is all about trying to meet kids where they are and things that they're already doing and bringing that into the school day, into the community, and just giving them some guidance when they're doing it. It's teaching our kids, communication, leadership, teamwork skills. And it's really cool to watch how this program brings together kids of all walks of life to come and represent the high school.
So it sounds like a lot of the same things that are happening with some other clubs and sports, but this allows another group of students to kind of have some access to the school and in a way to do something nice for the community as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the team? Tell us about, your membership. Are there, kind of how many kids are in each grade, and maybe you can introduce your captains for us too, or tell us who they are.
For sure. So we have 3 teams. We have an Overwatch team that has 10 members, a Smash Brothers team that has 6 members, and a Rocket League team that has 5. Gabe Greger is a senior, and he is our Overwatch captain. As captain, he's been responsible for reaching out to our opponent's captain and setting up the details for our matches. He sets the starting lineup, and he's been doing a really great job of incorporating all of our substitutes and making sure everyone gets a chance to play. Trenton Fusion is a senior and the Smash Brothers captain, and he organizes our roster, sets up matches with the opposing captains as well. A lot of that setup of the matches is all done by the captains. Coaches try to stay out of it. We want the communication to be in the kids' hands because it's teaching them those skills as well. Kennedy Henry is a senior, and she is our Rocket League captain. She is my go-to girl for Rocket League rules and communicating with the other team. She's always on top of it. And she plays soccer in the fall. So doing Rocket League in the spring is just a continuation of her soccer skills. And this program would not be as successful as it is without our captains. They are running the whole program, and I'm just kind of here to make sure that they have everything they need. They're the ones really making the whole thing go.
Right. It's kind of like with anything, you need some people to help run it with you and be there when you're not, and also to kind of lead the kids and lead the team. So how do you pick your captains? How did you know that those 3 were going to, be the cream of the crop and help kind of lead things for you?
I've had experience with each of them previously. So they're seniors, so I know that they have, the age and the background there, the experience, but also just having them in class and having them in other extracurriculars. You just know that they're going to be a good fit, and they really have been. They've, like I said, made this year a success, that's for sure. Great.
I'm glad you have some great people that you can rely on to help you out. Let's talk about some of how esports kind of works with some of the match work. Just kind of tell us how the matches go, what's it like, and then if you want, you could tell us about some of the games that the students are playing.
Yeah, for sure. So our typical match is set up the Monday before the actual competition. Typically, I'll reach out to the opposing coach and try to set a general idea of time. Then our captains will communicate with each other, and they will work out all of the details, like which maps will be banned, which is just, if you're not a gamer, that's just like what levels they won't be playing, because there's a list of games that they're allowed to play, a list of maps that they're allowed to play, but they then ban certain maps so that those don't get played. They decide who will be hosting, which is typically the team with the more winning record. On game day, then we get to the lab early and we start to warm up, prepare our lineups for the day. And when it's time for the match to start, our captain will work with the other captain, and they communicate online, kind of chatting back and forth and making sure everybody is ready to go and that we're ready to start. And once everybody is logged in and ready to go, then it takes off. And so we play a few different games. Overwatch is very similar to, I like to compare it to laser tag or capture the flag, depending on what map you're playing. And each game has 2 rounds, and we play first to 3 in that one. Smash Brothers is a melee game where we play almost like tennis, and we have 1 versus 1, and they play first to 2 on that 1v1, and then the best of 3 then wins the actual match for the team. Rocket League is essentially soccer played with cars, and it's super fun. It's 3 versus 3, and they play best of 5 games. So that's in general what we're doing here.
So you kind of mentioned that there's a certain number of students per game. Mm-hmm. Do students only play 1 game, or do they, are they backups for other teams?
We have quite a bit of overlap. We have 3 people on our Smash Brothers team who are also on our Overwatch team, and vice versa.
Okay. Just to follow up to that, how do you decide what goes into making a lineup? How do you determine kind of what kids are the best fit for the games? What's your thought process like for that?
Absolutely. I very much rely on our captains, and we try to do it in a democratic way, the most fair way we can think of. And so a lot of times with like Overwatch, our starting lineup is usually the kids who have been here the longest. So even if they're not the best, they've been here the longest, they've put in the most hours, so they get to be on the starting lineup. For Smash Brothers, they compete for their place, basically. So our roster is set by, they do 1v1 to decide who will be at the top of the lineup that day. So yeah, that's how we decide.
So some more a little democratic, a lot of others it's more competitive.
Yes. Yeah. Just kind of depends on the style of the game and how it comes together. Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes that can kind of dictate things for you.
Yes.
I gotcha. So tell us some stories about, the season here. Is there, maybe it's a favorite match or any rivalries? Tell us a little bit about the season.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of really close matches. One of our most exciting was a Rocket League match. We started out kind of rough with Rocket League, and we didn't have a win, and we played against Ashland, and it was it's best of 5, and we were in the 4th game tied 2-2, so it's going into the 5th game, and it's all down to the 5th game, and the 5th game goes into overtime, and we score in overtime, winning the game, and it was just so exciting because it was their first win, and done in overtime just made it even more exciting. We also played St. Mary's in a scrimmage prior to the season starting, and that was really fun because we totally swept them, and so what's better than beating the team across the lake? I don't think there's anything for a Celina kid.
That's great to get a good victory for them getting things started. So are you guys competing with some local schools?
Yeah, so we compete against Actually today we're playing against Shawnee and Smash Brothers. All of the WBL schools other than Van Wert are in esports, but we don't necessarily play them. Esports Ohio isn't set up by conferences the same way all of the other high school athletics are. So they set up our conferences for us, and it doesn't always match like the WBL, but yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. So definitely get to play some different teams from around the state and with a little bit of local as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling us a little bit about the season. I'd like to kind of switch gears here and give you a chance to tour the room and show us what the lab's all about. And if there's any players or students you want to introduce, feel free to do that as well. So I'll just turn it over to you, Tess.
All right, sounds good. So this is the lab. We have the lights on. Usually with the LEDs, we kind of keep it dark to save everybody time. So over here are our gaming PCs. And right now we got some people playing Overwatch. Got some Overwatch practice going on there. And then if we come over here, this is our Smash Brothers area with our Switch. And right now we're setting it up. So that is our lab. We're located on the stage in the high school. So I don't know. So this is Solomon Hairholzer, senior. Over here is Bella Carpenter, freshman. Hello. This is Remoro. Are you a sophomore?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore.
Remoro is a sophomore. And then if we come back over to our Smash area, we have senior Sky Jackson.
Hello.
And we have senior Cooper Chapman. And sophomore Cruz Hernandez. I always want to call you Cruz Ramirez. Sorry. And here is Holden Coverly, senior.
Hi.
And that is the team that is currently here.
So thanks for walking us around there, Tess. It's great to see an inside view of how this looks and what it looks like. So you mentioned that some of your team was there, some of them may not be there. You just have practices on certain days for certain students, or how's that work?
Yes. So on Tuesdays, normally we have Overwatch practice only because they take all 6 computers. So they take all 6 and that's where they're at. Then on Wednesdays, we have Rocket League and Smash Brothers normally. But this is the makeup week of the season. So Rocket League, their record was not, it wasn't good enough to get them into postseason play. So because of that, we then doubled up our practice Overwatch and Smash Brothers. Because right now we're waiting for the league to announce the teams that will play for club in postseason, and that should be coming out this weekend. So once we know more, we'll have a better idea of what next week looks like.
Good, and we'll make sure we tell all our viewers out there when those events are. So best of luck to you, by the way.
Thank you.
Your squad, so awesome. Esports we know is new for Celina and some of the schools in our area. If I'm a high school or a junior high student or just a community member, where can I go to learn more about esports?
Absolutely. So to learn more about Esports Ohio, esportsohio.org has a plethora of information when it comes to how esports works in the state of Ohio. They are the biggest organization in Ohio because they are totally free for schools to participate in. They don't charge at all, and they do a lot of work putting everything together. And if you want to learn more about Celina Bulldog Esports specifically, we have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So we're all over social media and constantly updating what we're doing in our lab.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I'm glad you have those social media posts and different things to see how the kids are doing and who you're playing and how successful you guys are being. So it's great that you guys are keeping that updated for us all to see. So
for sure, and that's something that eventually, much like the communication with the captains, I would like to pass the baton on to a student. I mean, it's super fun to do, but I think they would get a lot of benefit from running that as well.
Right, they get a chance to share what's important to them, and it's a great way for them to connect with the community. So
for sure,
that's a neat way to do that. Coach, nice job. You mentioned you guys are going to find out a little bit about your postseason schedule here over the weekend. What's what's your kind of outlook for the rest of the season and beyond?
So for the rest of the season, like I said, Rocket League, our final record ended up being 3-4, so we don't get to go on there. But in terms of our Smash Brothers team right now in our conference, we are undefeated. We have one loss that was a non-conference game, actually up a division. So that was a loss that we were kind of okay taking because we knew we were maybe not necessarily prepared for playing up a division. And then Overwatch, their record is 5-2, and right now we're second overall, which would put us into postseason play. But this is makeup week, and so there are a lot of teams that are making up matches that they might have missed for spring break or whatever through the season, and so we don't know if we'll stay number 2, but we're hoping because, like I said, that'll put us in postseason play. That's where we're at, and then Esports Ohio runs a fall and a spring season, so we're looking already forward to the fall and thinking about what that's going to look like for us. Very excited to be working towards that.
Right. So if there's any 8th graders listening out there or any
Absolutely.
younger high school kids, make sure you pay attention to Coach Watson here. She'll start spreading the word.
Yeah, for sure, because we have a lot of seniors. We're heavy on the seniors, so we're going to miss them when they're gone, and we're going to need people to fill their shoes.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that outlook. I'd like to kind of close here with a fun segment called the Bulldog Bark. If you could give us someone or something you'd like to give a shout out to.
Absolutely. I want to give a huge shout out to our senior members. Many of our seniors who are participating this year were ready to get started last spring when COVID kind of shut the world down. And we only had one meeting last year. And as soon as I was coming back from maternity leave this past fall, these seniors were, knocking down my door, ready to get started, ready to get this program rolling. And they have been doing it all. I had students building chairs and setting up PC accessories and just about anything that ever needed to get done. They were willing to do it because they want this program to succeed. And it's something that their work has made this dream of ours a reality, and they're helping to establish a program that I think is going to be around a really long time at CHS. And I just think that's so awesome that they are going to have this legacy. They might have only got to do it for a year, but they're creating a program that's going to go on long after they're out of here.
Right. So yeah, definitely. It's always great to have a senior group lead the charge for you, and it's wonderful to have that. So yeah. So, well, Tess, thank you for sharing your lab and your program and what you have going on with the students. I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, we'll see you around. Thanks for being on.
Yep. Thank you.